always get you further than negative attitudes.
That's what I told my mom last night. You know what she did?
What?
She grounded me.
All right, so here we go. We have done 45, 45, 90. Now we're going to add on, new pen probs. Got to take the little thingy off. 30, 60, 90. All right, so obviously this is our 90, which makes this side our hypotenuse. Okay? Is this angle or this angle our 30 or 60? Which one is which?
30.
Top is 30, this is 60. Because this is the shortest side, which means it's across from the smallest angle. So that is 30, and this is 60. Okay, so it's not as easy as x squared of 2. Because these two sides are not the same. These two sides are different, so all three of these are different. The side you always want to get first is your shortest side, which we call S for shortest side. We call it S. It's just S. You want S. We base everything off S. Okay? We call the side across from 60 L. L is equal to the short side times the square root of 3. What?
Why?
It's one of those things, like it's just, It's a shortcut. It's one of those things that's like, it's just a shortcut.
You plug in the value.
Yeah, you just plug in the value of the short side.
So if I still use Pythagorean too.
You'll get the same thing, but it'll take you way longer. I promise you. Okay, now, so if this is 3, then your leg is 3 square root of 3. Okay, so you have short side, then you have your leg as short side times square root of 3, and then your hypotenuse is equal to your short side times 2. So do you see why we always want to get the short side? Because you base everything else off the short side. If you have short, you can find leg and hypotenuse. Okay? So let's go to our note packet from yesterday, and let's go to page 4. Let's go to page 4. All right, like yesterday, there are 3 scenarios. Okay? Scenario number 1, best case scenario. You have, now sometimes I'm really bad about making mine actually look like 30, 60, 90 triangles. So as long as I write it though, I'm good. 30, 60, 90. Okay, best case scenario is if you know your S. So if this is 4, so if your short is 4, then your leg is 4 square root of 3, and your hypotenuse is 4 times 2, which is 8. Best case scenario. You know you're short, you plug it in. Okay? Scenario number 2 goes with this example. In a 30, 60, 90 right triangle. Okay, I'm going to try really hard to make this a better example. I could have drawn that a little bigger, but it's okay. I tried. If I only write 30 and 90, can you assume that that's 60? Yes. Okay. In the right triangle, the only thing that's given to you is that the hypotenuse is 5. So what's the short? No? 2.5. Because the hypotenuse is double the short. So if you have the hypotenuse, to get the short, you just divide it by 2. So the short is 2.5. Then to get the leg, you take your short and multiply it by the square root of 3. So you'd have 2.5 times the square root of 3. Y'all following me? So I took the hypotenuse, divided it by 2 to get your short. Now take your short and multiply it by the square root of 3 to get your leg. Case 1, easiest. Case 2, not bad. Case 3 is not bad. It's uncomfortable at first, like yesterday's, but we get the hang of it. So let's go back to our quote-unquote cheat sheet, and let's talk about something like we talked about yesterday. For example, if I am given this leg, and I want to find the short, but there's no square root. So if I'm given the leg, and I want to find the short by itself, so I want to solve for S. How do I get S by itself? What's the first step? Divide by?
Square root of 3.
Okay. Cancels out. So I have L square root of 3 equals S. Well, I can't leave the square root of 3 in the denominator, so what do I have to do?
Oh, S root 3.
Multiply both the top and the bottom by the square root of 3. It's called rationalizing the denominator. So now we get L square root of 3 divided by what?
Square root of 3.
Not square root of 3. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 is square root of 9. Square root of 9 is 3. So here's your thing that you plug it into. If you're given your leg and you want to find your short, that's what you plug it into. So, for example, number 4. This is scenario number 3. You're given that your longer leg is 8. Find the shorter leg and the hypotenuse. Well, I know that I have leg and I want to find short. So plug it in here. Well, 8 square root of 3 divided by 3. Is that going to give me a pretty decimal? No, so leave it like it is. It's not pretty, but that's prettier than an ugly decimal. So, your short is equal to 8 square root of 3 divided by 3. Now, to get your hypotenuse, we need to multiply this whole thing by 2. So you take 8 square root of 3 divided by 3 and multiply it by 2. Now remember, when you're multiplying it by 2, that's like saying multiply it by 2 times 2 divided by 1. So you don't multiply 8 times 2 and 3 times 2, just 8 times 2. So you get 16 square root of 3 divided by 3. And that decimal would be 5.333 repeating. So you don't want that as a decimal either. So this is your hypotenuse, and this is your short. So that's 30, 60, 90. It's pretty routine. I think there's only one scenario we didn't go through, and it's number 4. You're given your L, which is 9 square root of 3. So your short is what? 9. And your hypotenuse is 18. Okay, on 7 and 8, they're kind of set up a little differently, so I'm going to help you set it up, but I'm not going to do it for you. So, it says you have an equilateral triangle, which means all sides are the same. So you have an equilateral triangle like this. So this whole side is the same as this side, and it's the same as this side. And it has an altitude. Altitude drops straight down the middle and forms two 90-degree angles. And your altitude is a length of 36 feet. Well, remember, if it's an equilateral triangle, then all the angles are the same. So, and they're not only all the same, but they're all what? What degree? 60. So this is 60, this is 90, so this has to be 30. So So find your hypotenuse. That's how you set it up. Okay? I want you to try 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go.